Welcome! How to create transactional data. You call transactions, you input and confirm data, you save your documents, and that's it. You created transactional data. This video sheds a light on data input. Thus, document types will be explained. Then forms of input help for entering data and how to complete a document will be demonstrated. By the end of the video, you comprehend the usage of document types. You know how to apply simple and collective search help for data input, and you realize how the screen's logic guides you to make all necessary entries for completing the document. Let's begin with the document type. Transactional data is generated by creating or changing a document. Each document belongs to a certain document type. Document types allow that a single transaction can be controlled differently. You may remember the lecture about customizing, where you've thrown a glance at how screen layouts of a transaction can be manipulated. Now, a purchase requisition is a request to procure certain items. You may distinguish between, for example, getting finished material from vendor, that's standard procedure, or getting material from within the organization, stock transfer, and much more. The T-code for all these processes is ME51N, and only with document types, these diverse purposes can be managed differently. So when you call the transaction ME51N, the first thing to do is select a document type. You can find the according field here on the upper left. Document types have a specified code and a description. Here a default value is set. It's NB. If you click in the field, a drop-down list displays all available document types for this transaction. In this course, I'll stay with NB. After you've become acquainted with document types, let's turn to entering data in the document. While entering data in a document, you may distinguish between using values from a given list or typing individual values in an input field. To access a given list of values, input help, also known as F4 help, is available, either as a simple search help or as collective search helps. The latter you might remember from the master data lecture. You simply focus on a field and then click on the small symbol right of it. Alternatively, you may press the F4 key. Then all possible sets of values for this input field are displayed in a hit list. You select one, and by double-clicking, the value is taken over while the hit list closes. That was the simple help. If the number of possible values is quite extensive, like material master for example, then the collective search helps opens automatically. Here different search options placed on various tab strips allow sophisticated search. As you see, when I enter the sequence agenda, I get the list of possible entries. Again, I select one and double-click on it. Individual values may be entered, for example, in the fields short text, quantity, or delivery date. These data apply to the current transaction only. That is to say, these are transactional data. Now you know in general how to enter data, but which fields must be filled on a screen? Let's talk about that. A transaction may consist of one or more screens. Fields that allow for the entry of data appear editable. They are white-colored. Such input fields may either be mandatory or optional. A mandatory field, if left empty, will not allow you to go to the next screen or even to another tab. Each screen contains coding that executes validations and checks. That's required for consistency of data and may generate error or warning messages on the left side of the status bar. And this way, SAP may guide you through the whole transaction, even if you would not know the necessary fields. However, the system cannot check if your values are correct, only whether they are allowed. But the auto-completion option makes things easier. When you enter a value in a field, input help in the form of auto-completion is available from the previous set of entered values. When entering data into an input field, use backspace to see the previously entered set of values. Only when you've entered data in all mandatory fields, the system allows you to save the document and thus accomplish your transaction. Now you know that the screen's logic makes you do all the necessary entries in a document. And with that, you're at the end of the video. In conclusion, purchase requisitions may be used for different purposes. The transaction code for all of them is the same, but with document types, different layouts can be applied and each business process can be controlled differently. Data input on the screen is supported by simple and collective help. Hit lists and search results show the possible sets of values for a field in question. And finally, the screen's logic supports you with mandatory fields, auto-completion and validation checks to successfully complete any transaction in SAP ERP. That's all for this time. The next video is demonstration for practice. Thank you for watching and bye!